All right, folks. Hello and welcome to Choo episode 418. Damn, we're almost to the weed number, everybody.
Choo-choo.
Choo. It's me, John. I'm hosting. I'm here. Hello. How's it going? This week, Maverick is here as per the usual. Maverick, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just fucking tired, dog.
I get it.
You've been on a podcasting streak.
I've been on a content streak, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really focused on a Bayo 3, which we'll talk a bit about. I don't want to go too hard on it because again, you've talked like you said on our notes here, you've talked it to death. So I won't interrogate you too much on that. But also, yeah, Solon, you're here. Hello, Solon.
Hello, what's up? How y'all doing tonight?
I mean, we're all tired.
What? But I'm like awake. I'm ready. I've got all this energy. Do you want me to be more tired?
No, you're fine. I mean, I'm a little awake. I might just have to take a nap before I go to work because it was my own fault this time. I stayed up way too late playing Xenoblade. I just got very hooked and very excited to keep playing that. So, yeah, I want to finish that game before Pokemon comes out. So I'm just
That's exactly where I'm at too. I'm like frustratedly playing games as fast as possible because Pokemon's coming out next week.
Pokemon looks so good. I'm not going to talk about the spoilers that have been propagating online.
Oh, but they look so good though.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
I've been telling other people about this, just that without talking about anything that's going on, it feels like there's a lot more collaboration with this Pokemon game than any other Pokemon game.
How so?
With outside artists, with outside, musicians, and people that have been a part of this, including what's his name, the mop-headed pop dude.
Oh,
Sheeran.
It's Sheeran, yeah.
Mr. Edward, yeah, he's in there too. I'm seeing a more open Pokemon, like, and that's what we've all wanted. And so I'm just like extra excited for this because this is the second Pokemon game on the Switch. This is the second one, and every time they have a second
or whatever, like
but every time they have the second of any like console or handheld generation, that's always the one that everyone loves. They've got their feet under them on the engine side, and they try out a lot of new things that usually hit a lot harder because they have more, time and effort worked with that system specifically. And so it's like, oh, I'm really stoked for it.
Yeah.
And this whole week I've been playing new games, and every single one of them have been awesome. And so I'm just like, can we keep the streak going?
Yeah. God, I'm so ready. Like, part of me wants to just hibernate until Pokemon comes out, but another part of me just wants to, experience. Like, I want to experience stuff. I have work, so that's one thing. But Xenoblade has also been so good, and I'm happy to be playing that. And I think I'm getting closer to the end. I am absolutely prepared for the game to be like, oh, by the way, no, you actually have another 40 hours, and I'm just gonna have to be like, all right.
The game is massive.
It's so good, though. It's so good. Everything is worth doing. So I don't care.
Okay. Yep.
I don't care. It's fine. But yeah, no, we weren't here last week, just kind of a conflicting schedule sort of business. So we're going to try to catch up with some stuff. Yeah, we got some news. We got some other stuff going on. Let's start off with yeah, let's see here. Let's start off with I guess the two big bits of news that I think we can highlight from the past like week or so. So we'll start off talking about Studio Zom and the continued uh, controversies going on here. So, the ex Zom folks who were seemingly ousted, maybe not seemingly, they were ousted from their positions at the company by the money people, have put out a statement, basically saying like, yeah, we don't have we were considered minority shareholders, and the majority shareholders basically shoved us out, and we are trying to use the law to get our hands back on our IP, which all seems reasonable. But around the same time that this happened, there was also a report from GamesIndustry.biz talking about Robert Kurvitz and some of the other folks working as there was a talk of mismanagement and misconduct, specifically from Kurvitz here, basically saying that he would created a toxic work environment, verbally abused, and was discriminatory based on gender. And see, the thing is that it's one of those things where, like, you want to listen to folks who are speaking out about somebody who is a shitty person, even if even if they are someone who made something that they want to, that you love, that you want to continue to love. But at the same time, you look at when this got talked about here. Like, at the same time that Zom is trying to, that Zom is trying to keep this IP from the people that created it, and are trying to just shove them away, and it just feels a little off. It really does.
I would say big time, huge time. This is Zam as a company putting out a press release about their ex-employees that they fired.
Yeah,
to say that you should not like these people because they're shitty. Meanwhile, those ex-employees are like writing this very normal business document saying, yes, we are going to follow through with our lawsuit against Zam to get our shit back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it felt so backwards that the writers that are defending themselves, the artists, are writing this very like normal announcement to say like, hey, this is the business that we're conducting. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the business is like trying to like put out a call out post. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all.
It's definitely one of those things where, like, you don't want to make a full call here because, hey, you know what? If Kurvitz was a shitty leader and was shitty to people, that is one thing. But at the same time, there are workers' rights being trampled on, and there's, IP rights that are just being fucked over. And it's one of those things where, like, you would like to see these, like, the people who are doing wrong to others improve and stop being shitty. And, if they're truly beyond recompense, then sure, get rid of them. But also, like, the people that are talking about this are not people. It's, like a company.
A company that is arguably run by Estonian fraudsters now.
Yeah, like, they are they're straight up like Kurvitz and Co. are just like, yeah, like, we're pretty sure that they bought the majority stake here fraudulently. So yeah,
they used the company itself as lien for buying their own stakes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the most like just on paper the definition of fraud.
Yeah.
So we'll see. As if I'm the Medium post that Kurvitz and co wrote up was like very like on the nose. There was a little bit of artistic flair in it, just with how convinced they are that they're going to come on top on this lawsuit, right?
Yes.
And so there's things will move forward from this point. It's not the end of the story, but we will know more information as it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone wants to talk, so I guess it'll be really easy for us to know.
Basically,
we won't have to dig too deep.
Basically, yeah. Like the way that I'm handling this right now is I'm just gonna let things transpire. We're gonna see how it shakes out, and then make the judgment call. Because hey, you know what? I think a lot of us, or hopefully a lot of us, learned a lesson from the Helena Taylor stuff recently.
Yep.
I think it's just a good idea to just see how things shake out before making a judgment call here. Let's see. Let's talk about games here. Let's talk about games. So, Maverick and Solon, you have both been playing one of the big new releases, and I guess we can discuss that. How do you both feel about Sonic Frontiers? This is a topic that we are that is it's a hot button topic here. The Sonic fans are split. There's strife. There's turmoil. How do you feel?
There is?
I think. I don't know.
You might be right, because it's, Sonic fandom. They can't agree on what color Sonic is. It's fine. It's wonderful. It's a delightful little romp. It's I'm having a great time. Maverick, how are you doing with Sonic Frontiers?
So I actually haven't gotten that far into it, which is hilarious in that I bought it in like this moment of thinking, oh god, I kind of want to get into it because I know that Game of the Year stuff's coming up and I at least want to have a few things, like the big standouts, taken care of. And I bought it, but it's become such a... It's such a slow approach to get to it for some reason. Like, I got it for the sake of having it, and now I'm like not really jumping in to really get into it. Other reasons have come up why I might want to hold off on that as well for a little bit, which we'll get into. But the bit that I've played, I've gotten to, I would want to say like about an hour or so in, sort of like, I got to the part where the game officially says you can now do whatever you want, go and explore Sonic Frontiers, and mess around a little bit after that. That's where I have gotten everything at. And no, I like it. Like, it's that thing where, and like, some of this I've had to talk about for other reasons, but there are a lot of very particular trends that are happening when it comes to game design, AAA game design. And as soon as he saw, initial footage of Frontiers, everyone immediately went, oh god, Sega hired that man. This is the Unreal...
The Unreal Engine man. Uh-huh.
Yeah, because we're going to make an open world Waypoint, Breath of the Wild-like Sonic game. And... when you get into it, the overworld is very much focused on the fact that you can explore. There are places that you can traverse and get to and, like, platform to an extent with, like, ramps and bumpers and grind rails to get everywhere. And that, is at least enough of a lean-in to be like, okay, this is how you would make Sonic work for this kind of a gameplay style. And then you start going through the cyber worlds that are sort of like these reinterpretations of old Sonic levels. And that is sort of how you are basically clearing stages in order to progress in the game itself. And that is what's necessary for the plot so far, from what I'm gathering. Other components include just like getting to fight world or enemies in the overworld and go through combat that way. like immediately after having the go ahead for just go explore the world, I got into a fight with the Asura Guardian, just this big tower
Yep.
that like I didn't even notice it was there, and I'm like, oh god, I guess I'm gonna go do this. And for the most part, it wasn't a bad fight. It was a little bit repetitive, but at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about Sonic as it stands from like a action standpoint. That was never like, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna try and
has
talk
a character action element to it. It does
a little bit, yeah.
It's like character action junior.
Well, it's the like waypoint adventure game combat tool bag. It's your disarming stuff in like Watch Dogs 2, your Spider-Man kind of like combo system. Not the most extensive, but it's enough that are things that you can play around with and mess with. Sonic has a parry, and then you do...
Sonic has a parry attack.
And you do Witch Time after you hit the parry, and you just get to, like, continue it.
They cribbed that. They cribbed so many things. Shadow of the Colossus, Breath of the Wild. They've shamelessly cribbed, like, 4 different systems from Breath of the Wild. And you haven't even seen, like, half of them yet, if you're at the point where I think you're at.
I've met some of
like
the
a Guardian collectible that you can pick up across the world called Cocos.
Yep, I've met them.
It's shameless, but it's so funny.
Yeah, they're leaning into it, and I think that's like the thing that works so well is that regardless of the actual inspiration, this is one where it's definitely, and I think this is the general consensus I'm seeing from people who aren't freaks, that love it or hate it, there is at least a lot that's going on here that I'm hoping does carry over into whatever else they make. And I would say signs are kind of showing that this is sort of the momentum that Sonic Team wants to carry with the overall result. Like, I think just today, there was some report about one of the creators or like one of the developers for Frontiers saying that it was sort of like a worldwide beta launch of what could be possible with Sonic or something. And, I don't buy that entirely. It feels like one of those things that you would say to try and excuse a game's specific level of performance, which here or there, I don't really care that much about. But I do understand it at the level where it's like, we've seen so many different interpretations of Sonic, of just this world that he lives in, and of all these different things and all these different attempts to really make the character, stick as he did all the way back in like 92, 93 with those original Genesis games. The movie has maybe been the biggest peak for Sonic so far in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that momentum has helped to at least say, what are other ways that we can keep that going? What's the energy of those movies that we're not going to bring everything over? Like, we're not going to just make the licensed Sonic the Hedgehog game and call it a day. But what can we take from that and carry into our ethos for the rest of Sonic? And especially with how that can translate into gameplay and into a video game in general that is enjoyable and that collectively can be seen as like a hurrah. Because here's the thing, like, people were over the moon about the fact that it's like a 7 out of 10.
It is 7 out of 10 in the best way. One of the things that you're kind of getting at is that this is more adult of a game in its like tone and themes, even though the like playing it is very low level of everything that's trying to do. So like the platforming levels are pretty easy. The combat is very simplified. All of the like play systems are like bare minimum, holding the thing together, but are all fun tools to play with. The main characters, all of them have a deeper voice, and they use the deeper voice to talk about like Amy and Sonic talk about death and what it means to be a hero in like the first 20 minutes of them being together. It's it's got such wild energy to it where everyone is downloaded to this like virtual world and they're trying to figure out a way to escape. And this like edgy data girl shows up to you and just says, "You're an enemy, I will not speak to you." And Sonic is trying to plead with her to like explain anything about what's going on in this weird like isekai world they're in. And she refuses. And then you cut to her like hanging out with Eggman and realizing why she's being so like brutal about not speaking to Sonic. And then and then you go fishing. And then you go fishing, which is a very simple mini game. It is literally like a gotcha where you just do the most simple like mini game of like hit the A button when it tells you to. All right, did it. And you pull out just the weirdest looking like photorealistic fish or something that you ever saw. And that gives you points to get lore dumps from Eggman himself, where he muses on the existence of virtual realities and why they are emulating on their own the real world that he comes from. Like, he like goes in deep about what that could mean if there are alternate universes that are trying to emulate his own. It's bizarre. I'm excited for you to get through because there is no point where playing Sonic Frontiers from the beginning to where I've gotten at the like end of the first kind of level, I guess is what you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
The first open world level. It always is ramping up in a way that's really wild. Because I walked into this game being like, oh, this is gonna be goofy. This is gonna be some Clown Shoes, Unreal Engine type stuff. And then it was. When you start that game, it is kind of Clown Shoes goofy. The game's like presentation, like you moving through the world, it's clunky, it feels funky, it doesn't work quite right. You just throw yourself off of cliffs constantly, and the game's just like, well, we'll put you back up there, no big deal, no harm, no foul. But don't do that again, pal. And as you like get your feet under you, it actually starts getting a lot better. And when you start clearing the map at large, the game just wants to show you all of these cool set pieces that it's put together, both inside of the levels, the like side-scrolling levels that you play through, that are very like Sonic Generations style. Those are fun. But also in the world, there's all these little like events that are moments of Sonic just going fast. Either it's fighting enemies or finding little railways that take you to plungers that push you way out farther than you wanted to go. It has this like reckless feeling to it that is uniquely Sonic. It's so aggressively Sonic in a Breath of the Wild type open world game. And so like I've come to this conclusion with Frontiers that this is a maximalist version of the Nintendo open world. This is what if you could consider an open world game where they just shove as much as they can to distract you constantly into like the Ubisoft and Nintendo open world style, this is it. This is as good as it gets. It's still and it's a thing that I don't like. So I'm not a fan of Breath of the Wild. I'm not a fan of the open world Nintendo game. I'm not a fan of Ubisoft's style of like waypoint pointing towards stuff. I think it's really banal and pointless. But at least this does it fast. So who am I to argue if I'm gonna I'm having that rapid like things popping in front of my face constantly feeling, where I'm constantly distracting myself from what I'm supposed to do by doing something else. And that's fun. That's very, very fun. It's everything that I would have asked for out of this style of game. And they're doing it really well. I think the number one thing out of all of this is that, and you know what it's a Sonic game. The music's awesome. The music is completely different from any of the other Sonic soundtracks and is incredible. They have some like deep liquid house music, and they have a banger of a like Paramore-esque metal track that is like the big boss fight music. And all of it is done in a way that is what's it called? It is it goes to the what's it called? That SSX tricky effect.
Sort of just like the fan out of the audio.
Yes. I can't believe I'm forgetting the word right. I remembered it this morning too. Shit. It is. I'm so stuck now. I'm stuck on the word. Yeah, the music's good. The audio's great. The audio design is stellar. You know, you're moving fast through the world, and the audio cuts out, pans out for you. And it just flows so sweetly, both in the levels and in the world itself. So, like, this Sonic game's got the whole package. It does the whole damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike other Sonic games, it actually does them all pretty competently. It does them well. Instead of, like, there's so many Sonic games that I've played where, like, they'll do an experimental part and you go, wow, I really respect the swing that they took at this. They whiffed. They completely missed, but not here. Sonic Frontiers is the real deal.
That's interesting. You know, like I think it's one of those things where you see a game trying something somewhat new, and even if it doesn't completely land it, the fact that it's something different is neat. You know, it's good that they tried something.
The second world's Nier Automata. I got out of the like forest world, which God, they put this in the trailer. It doesn't advertise well. It's really weird looking. And then they put you into this dead desert, and it's like, oh shit, we just finished talking about like a lot of existential stuff, and now here we are in the desert. I want to play more of it so bad.
It's wild.
If I'm getting like first grade Nier Automata, that's great. That's what else could I want out of Sonic, you know?
They're doing something new here. Let's see here. We got other news here. So this is just like a weird bit of news that I grabbed. It's just extremely strange here. So, do y'all remember when there was going to be a Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, or at the very least, there is still going to be one, but it got delayed indefinitely. Do y'all remember that?
Oh yeah. Wait, yeah, that was done. It's over. Is it over?
No. In fact,
did they reverse time and go back to the beginning?
In a way,
that's not how I remember it happened.
Yeah, they kind of did. So, apparently, again, this is just very strange here. The game was done. It went gold, completely finished, went up through Sony Cert, got put up on the servers and everything. And some folks over in Japan somehow, like, decrypted the game. Because the PS4 and I think even the PS5 have recently gotten jailbroken. So it seems like some people who may have like jailbreak access to this PSN servers were able to just get the game. They just accessed it and played it like on PSN Profiles, which is a website that will like keep track of your PSN stuff and keep track of like trophies and all that. It shows that there's people who have trophies from the game. Like, a good amount of people.
So people have played this Prince of Persia remake.
Yes, it's out there. People have played it.
Okay.
It sounds like it's kind of like that. I mean, this article from whatifgaming.com likens it to that GoldenEye 007 remaster that got basically 100% finished and then just never came out. Pretty similar here. I don't know if they are going to release this eventually, because it's done. It's 100% done. It's on the servers. They literally have to just press a button and then it will be available. So very, very strange. No idea why it got delayed. It's just out there. It's done. People playing it. People have played it.
That's incredible.
Just what a weird story.
I just am trying to imagine the people who were making that game and like we're like, yeah, we made that game. Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. Oh, it would have been awesome if it came out. It would have been so cool. They just have to hit the button. It would go live.
Mm-hmm.
What a bizarre situation. And yet somehow classic games. Like that.
Yeah.
That's so video games.
It's very video games. It's very video games. Let's see here. One more smaller bit of news here, but it's a shorter piece of news, but not a small bit of news. This was a sad thing to wake up to a couple of days ago. Kevin Conroy, the voice actor for Batman, who played him in pretty much everything worth a damn that Batman was in. You're talking about your animated series, your Arkham games, multiverses, which will bring up a question, I suppose. But he passed away a few days ago at 66. Really big bummer. Like, I absolutely loved his portrayal of Batman. Like, I loved the animated series and Justice League. Like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited are like my favorite Western cartoons, I would say. So, his portrayal of Batman was a huge part of that, and he brought like a believable aspect to Batman and a far more compassionate turn to Batman than a lot of people expect. Like, a lot of people will talk about how Batman should just be trying to help people instead of beating them up. He should just be giving away his money. But like, the animated series version of Batman is like about as close to that as any form of Batman has gotten. Except, I mean, maybe it's happened in the comics. I don't keep up with all the comics, but like the mainstream portrayals of Batman, I would say has been, the one that I think people can respect the most. And his acting was 100% part of it.
Oh, big time. Yeah, no, Batman's this stoic and cold character, but Kevin Conroy brought a lot of life to it, which no one else really has been able to touch that.
No,
there's been like interpretations like when it comes to the subject of Batman, like I think there are a lot of ways to go about it. People definitely appreciated what Adam West had incorporated into the character when, his passing came up, and to an extent, yeah, like it's a very like animated portrayal. I would say Dietrich Bader's interpretation for series like Brave and the Bold leans a lot into sort of just the way that this Silver Age dynamic of the character really just like leans into a little bit of parody, but at the same time it still can be like a part of the there's a lot of heart to it. But no, I mean, God, this past June, as part of the DC Comics Pride Anthology, Conroy penned a story and had some, collaboration with artists that just goes into detail about his experience as a gay actor in the midst of the AIDS epidemic, not only losing so many friends, colleagues, but also having to balance that with his own livelihood. Just so many of these factors that come into it that, to carry all that by the time that you get the casting call for Batman in the animated series, he says it like Batman became his. Like it was his character so much to the fact that he knew what that felt like. And a lot of the like parts that people remember the most when it comes to that portrayal are the fact that like this is the most humanized the Rogues Gallery has ever felt. A lot of these stories are just Batman having to help somebody who is so far gone. And, you know, in that similar boat, it's never necessarily this point where it's having to like undo an injustice or just outwardly having to deal with someone that doesn't know what they're doing, so much as recognizing like I gotta be able to like I just gotta be able to help in any way that I can.
So yes, this is absolutely a massive loss, but at the same time, you know, he left us with a lot of material to sift through. You know, like I said, you know, we got like those Arkham games are great. He was doing work on multiverses. Like, you know, that we have like brand new stuff of his for multiverses. Um, and yeah, the whole animated series and Justice League and everything. And Batman Beyond too. You know, he played like older Bruce in Batman Beyond, and like I like the amount of portrayals of Batman that he did is like incalculable. And you know, he brought that energy no matter what. So, you know, rest in peace to a real hero out there. You know, like he I saw a video recently where he talked about volunteering right after 9/11, and there was just this moment where one of the other workers was like, "Hey, yeah, what do you do for your day job?" And he was like, "Oh, I do voice acting, you know." And then the guy was immediately just like, "Oh, I knew it. Yeah, you're Batman." And the guy ran out to like where everyone was out in the like soup kitchen, was just like, "Hey, one of the guys cooking your food is Batman," and everyone was just like, "No way, no way!" And then they just heard it. They heard him do the like, "I am vengeance, I am the night" from the back, and everyone just started flipping out. And then the guy just said, "Dude, you're basically Santa Claus right now. Like, you just like brought back like joy and happiness to the people here for the first time in a while." And like that just seemed to be the kind of guy he was, like all the way through. Like really nice, really talented dude. And yeah, it's a bummer that we are now without him physically, but it is still a blessing that we have so much of his work to appreciate forever. Maverick, I know that you talked about a lot about it, but do you want to just say goodbye to Bayo 3 here? You know, we have our review. You did a spoiler cast that should be up soonish. How do you want to wrap up your Bayo coverage here? What do you want to say?
You know, at this point, I'm definitely just curious from this perspective. I don't know how much investment Solar or John you have in the series, but if there are any questions that you have about, you know, how the game is, what are so like wanting at least maybe a peek behind the curtain of like, okay, well, why are people reacting in such a way to what's in the game? You know, let me answer that. Let me hear what you got. I have been the driving factor in so much of this that at this point I feel I can at least take the step back and see where you would like to lead the focus.
So this is the thing that I've been coming up to at this point, from Bayo 3 being heavily talked about all over the place in my friend circles until the moment it came out.
Mm-hmm.
After which point I have heard nothing. And I'm wondering how that's happened. I haven't seen, you know, screenshots or combo videos or anything, except for little smatterings here and there of people saying that Bayonetta 3 has a great combat system. They're saying it's the best. And I'm just like, oh yeah, prove it. Like, show me a video. But yeah, other than that, I haven't heard anything. And so I'm wondering why that is.
I mean,
Is it not sticky?
to an extent, like, I feel like there are a lot of factors there. Part of it would be, as you've heard me talk ad infinitum, like, the last 2 weeks have been so, not even last 2 weeks, just like that tail end of knowing that Beta 3 is coming up and just the deluge of news about the Helena Taylor voice actor situation. I think that's one part of it. Another part of it then came from the Polygon article talking about the ending in particular and providing this perception of what is going on in the game that, having now played it, like, I don't disagree with the intent of what's being talked about, like, straight up, and I talk about this in that review, that ending sucks. Like, in a game, in a game that is, or in a game series that is already famous for the plots really taking a backseat to the gameplay and game feel, and by the end of it, you're kind of just like, yeah, why are we kind of doing this again? Oh, okay. I get it. Let's keep it ramping up. Like, you kind of have to ask yourself in that moment, like, oh, right, this is why we're having this all happen, and it still comes together. Like, rather than just outright saying, oh, this game's always had bad endings, I can at least say that this franchise relishes a level of campiness and a level of, tongue-in-cheek humor about just the way a narrative gets told. And it's been so proud to have that. Here, the biggest thing to notice is that there is such a level of self-seriousness that is, you don't know where it comes from. Like, it's never been that included in the series. There are moments where there is, like, an inability for, like, reflection or introspection, given what the characters are looking for, but here it just somehow is, like, thrown into full throttle of, like, the fate of the world and the universe rests on one Bayonetta's hands. And it's like, bro, I'm just here to do funny combos. I'm here to laugh at an Italian American with the best fit I've seen so far. Like, I don't know where we're getting to at that point. And so the initial shock of the ending, I think, is definitely part of it, where you see all that news come in. It's kind of just like, fuck it, I'm not going to play this game. Bayonetta's ruined. It's over. It's done for. And, that is initially what drew me in closer to be like, all right, let me actually play this game so I can understand what exactly is going on, what exactly is happening. Because I can't just let it lie as, like, between seeing all of the shit show, seeing all of the fallout, when I was already, like, so pumped to get this game. I need to experience it for myself. And I think, just the lead up in everything, and the way that as more conversation came in, it's like, oh, the marketing was barely there. We kind of got the trailer back in July letting us know that this was going to be an October release, after, like, the news before that being the teaser back in, like, 2017. It is a lot of mismanagement on the, like, advertising, I would say, but then also, again, that lead up just really did a lot, I think, to make people go, I kind of had my fill of thinking about Bayonetta.
I can see that. Yeah. No, when I was at PAX, they had a huge booth for Splatoon, and they had a photo booth for Bayonetta 3 that was imminently releasing. They had no gameplay or trailer footage showing at PAX when they had a giant, like, mega booth for Splatoon. And I get that in a part, but, like, come on, really? And so it just got me thinking that they don't care about Bayonetta 3. They were expecting to just kind of, put out another Bayonetta. I guess we'll have another one. From Nintendo's point of view. When that was not what people were looking forward to, at least in the West over here. Like, the everyone was excited to hear more about Bayonetta 3, and then there's the only footage, the only stuff that we could get was secondhand from people who had criticisms. Or people that had concrete thoughts and interpretations of the events of the game, and that's not really what Bayonetta's about. At least 1 and 2, you can have interpretations of what happens in Bayonetta 1 and 2, but like to say with concrete certainty like any one thing about any of the characters in the series would be weird. That'd be bizarre. They're just, there's not enough, stuff there on purpose to give you anything.
Yeah, and I think like the actual betrayal is the fact that here we get some very concrete introductions and some very concrete material to the, like to the source and to the lore.
Oh no, that's not why I'm here though.
It's not why I'm here. It's there. It can be available as like set dressing and like window dressing because, Bayonetta 1, you're able to collect journals that are about sort of like Luca's father, uncovering the history of Vigrid and understanding like what's going on. Like all of that is there as supplementary to your experience. But here, if you don't read those, apparently you're missing big chunks of what gets revealed later on. And it's like, why? Don't make it homework for me.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and I will say that, like, everything I see occasionally is talking about, like, oh man, why did Kamiya do that? I can't believe Kamiya made such a mistake here. Like, what was he thinking when he did that? And honestly, the problem is that this game doesn't have enough Kamiya. Like, look at Bayonetta 1. Bayonetta 1, that story is entirely written by him. He is the director for that. Or not the director, but like he is like very heavily involved. Bayonetta 2, he writes that story and co-writes it with the writer for DMC 1, DMC 3, DMC 5. He worked with this person already, so that is already giving you an idea about that level of collaboration. 2 writers. Bayonetta 3 has 4 credited writers. Kamiya is one of them. And then you have the writer for SMT4 Apocalypse, the writer for the Atelier series, and the writer for Astral Chain. There is so much delineation of what is actually going on. And if I had to assume anything, because here's the thing, that is as much like outside looking in as I can do, because I don't know what the percentage of that script comes out to. But when you also give him the role of supervising director, whatever that means, you're basically letting me know, like, okay, he does not have the same level of intensity in this as whatever else is going on, as these other writers are putting in, as the director proper for this game is putting in, who is also someone that worked on Astral Chain. And if I had to give a comparison to what this game is the most, it really does feel like building off of some of the pieces of Astral Chain, which that in itself is the most that Platinum gets to copying a lot of what is currently there in the gaming landscape versus just doing things because it feels good to put it into a video game. Like, we talk about it where Bayonetta 1 has so many weird minigames and like send-ups. It's doing so much to like, it's not even a Sega like core developed game. They're just publishing that first one. And yet here we have Enzo listening to like a magical sound shower as he is driving with Bayonetta. Everyone's collecting rings. You're doing Fantasy Zone and Afterburner mini games, which are kind of bad, but at the same time, like it's because Kamiya wanted to put them in there.
Yeah,
there's
fun.
There's a lot of intentionality there. Versus here, there's a lot of assuming what should be in a Bayonetta game as like a brand, and assuming what should be put into a video game in 2022. There's a photo mode in there, and I did not use it.
No.
Because I can just screenshot it with the screenshot button. But Yeah, you are right that the combat is very fun. I have my reservations with some of the mechanics in it, but outside of that, I think there's definitely a lot to play with.
Well, yeah, that's a weird place to be in, but at the very least, yeah, the gameplay sounds really nice. So I'm glad you're
Yeah.
enjoying
Oh,
that.
for your last hurrah on Bayo 3, where do you think this goes from here?
Oh man, that is. I asked the same thing. Full disclosure. Yeah, Rose and I put out a full spoiler cast that should be coming out, soon. We're still figuring out the best place for that to live, but
Oh, that'll be in there. Then don't spoil it for here. Then That's for
no.
the-
But I mean, that is a very
yeah?
good question to ask because we are sort of just left in a similar space. Like ultimately, the big thing is like I don't know. We really don't know what comes next because the most optimistic thing would be that this has to be the game that like stumbles and takes the biggest just trip up in order for the rest of the series to at least have a fresher direction as
Okay.
the game done by like a new team entirely or as like completely new as you can make it.
Oh, so you're thinking that if they do come back to making another Bayonetta game, they have to either reboot everything or take it really seriously in a way that they didn't for this one.
There are some directions that the story takes that give it an off-ramp, and they are definitely shooting their shot with what can be done next. But the biggest matter is, are we even going to see an actual Bayonetta 4 come out? Is this going to be something that Nintendo, the publisher, asks for?
Uh-huh.
And that's to be said. That's to be seen. Like, the big question is, how is Kamiya's next thing, Project Gigi, going to do? Because between everything about Babylon's Fall, the fact that their work with Cygames is kind of up in the air or just has been taken by Cygames to work on, Project Gigi is the only project right now that's actually like scheduled to be in some kind of development. I don't know what other projects they might be taking up in the meanwhile. They definitely haven't announced anything else, but it's weird. This is the history of a specific set of games that people love from an aesthetic, from a gameplay standpoint, but are doomed to be in this weird niche. And, it started all the way back with Beautiful Joe, and I don't know where it goes from here.
Yeah,
No,
I think.
thank you for that. Yeah, that's a good summary of the Platinum situation right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a worrying time as someone who does like Platinum, but like right now their output is just bad to mediocre and is frustrating in how it's coming out, and it's just
If
Yeah.
the biggest issue back in 2005 was that someone at IGN got mad about the way that they couldn't play God Hand, and that's why they gave it a low score, and everyone else that played was like, no, this rocks, shut the fuck up. Here, it's now the fact that that same level of viewpoint can damn an entire genre or damn an entire aesthetic where it has to be a specific kind of feel. It's like the ghosts of Keiji Inafune trying to westernize Capcom and this general idea of what is like a wacky Japanese game. It's brushing up the most right now because more than ever, I just want a Platinum game. A game made by a studio that feels like they want to just do something because there are things they like to do. There are tropes that they like to mess around with. It just feels like something completely created by a specific group of people. Like, you bring up Splatoon, that's maybe the closest thing we have to a triple double A studio game that definitely has its own identity. I would even go to say that the God of War games right now are at least taking this form of like epic Norse mysticism and rolling with it in a way that is at least intriguing and different from what has come before in like these similar kinds of like styles. But yeah, it really just signals a greater. We talk about it a little bit because we've seen it with No More Heroes 3. We've seen it with some of the sweary stuff that's come out. Just this grand MCUification of games, and it really shows itself here in Bayo 3.
I'm looking at the list of platinum games, just all of them, and it always has painted this weird, fun picture. They make a lot of stinkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They have always made a lot of stinkers, and some of them are like charmingly stinkers too, like something like Anarchy Reigns or something.
Oh
where
yeah,
it's
no, like
there's a lot of things to love in there.
you don't
But
want to
it's
play
sure-
Anarchy Reigns, but you want to see Anarchy Reigns and you want to hear Anarchy Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or they also had like the Legend of Korra game, which
Yeah,
it just didn't hit. It is what it is. So this isn't like they have been here before.
Yeah.
The only thing that's different is that now with games being much larger, these swings that are having to be taken are have to be, made much safer, while also, because it just represents so many people and so much work and effort and so much money, that maybe they can't sustain how many stinkers they constantly make.
I mean,
But if anyone can, they can.
yeah. Again, these are some things that like we touch on in the greater like podcast that's put out, and it's not like a retread entirely, but I mean, so it's stuff that I am just actively thinking about now in terms of how I view video games and the way that I view just the current landscape of content, of media, of these works, of this art that's being created right now, where what does a 7 out of 10 mean when almost nothing really elicits a genuine spark?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. I am 100,000% with you. Like a 7 out of 10 on a game that's trying something weird. Oh, that's awesome. That rocks.
That's
exactly
great.
what I want to see.
A 7 out of
7
10,
out of 10 on something that's going through the motions. That's rough, buddy.
Yeah. And like I can't tell you the last time I thought something was a full-on like 10 out of 10. I mean, review-wise on like what I put out, probably Neo the World Ends With You.
Mm-hmm.
But that was also the fact that it was something that I didn't expect to even come out in the first place, and it just led me on such a ride by the end of it.
Ba-da-dun-dun.
But
Yep.
yeah, God, it's just like, it's fine for something not to be the most amazing thing in the world, but I don't want to feel like I'm just left there with no thoughts. And I feel part of that, exhausting conversation I have had with this game has been in defiance of that possibility. I do not want Bayonetta to go quietly in that good night. I do not want this one playthrough I have of this game to sort of just be my last send-off. I might play Bayo 1 on PC again. I might see if I can find a way to get Bayo 2, maybe not on Switch, but other methods. We'll see. But
Yep.
I could buy a Wii U again. Fuck it. Get myself a Xenoblade Chronicles X machine.
Fucking A.
But yeah, it's just the music's good. I would say go seek out the music.
Yeah. Alright. Folks, once again, I am playing a different game. I'm not just playing Xenoblade.
Xenoblade?
No,
What?
I'm playing something else. I'm fucking around with something else.
How?
Alright, so,
How many hours are in your day?
not enough. Not enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But, so I actually did something that I didn't think I was going to do. I crossed a line recently, and I imported physical copies of games. I think I mentioned this previously, but I'm going to say it again. It's a fucked up thing I did, but I imported Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers Edition and Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher because I wanted physical copies, and those are only sold in Asia.
Wow, what a 1-2 hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So I haven't played Chrono Cross yet, just because like I don't have the time. You know, I have a bunch of big JRPGs, so I'm not gonna start another big JRPG. But that is something I definitely want to do. I am excited to try Chrono Cross.
Oh yeah, no, I know why you bought that. I fully respect it.
Yes.
That's very cool that you have a physical Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers
Yeah.
game. Holy shit.
But then Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher, Maverick has talked a whole bunch about it, so I'm not going to dwell on it too long, but I will say, yes, I am enjoying it. Like, the day I got it, I played it, like, nonstop. I played it, like, the whole day. It's more Monster Rancher, and I love Monster Rancher, so I'm so happy that there's a new one, and I'm hoping that they, that they expand on it. I'm hoping that they do, like, remakes of 3 and 4, maybe in the future, or just straight up make Monster Rancher 5. I want them to do something new as well. But what's here is great. And the one thing that I want to say that was really crazy that I did not know was like something different until I talked to Maverick about it, actually. So yeah, I imported the Southeast Asian version of the game. So the way that region locking and all that works on Switch, I kind of just thought like, oh, if you buy this copy, you're just gonna play like whatever copy that matches your region, because it'll just be like, okay, you have the game, whatever. No, I am playing the Southeast Asian copy of the game, which is different from what was released on the eShop over here. And I know this because I can look up songs. I can use music to generate monsters, when in the non-Asian version, I don't know if it's the just the English or the US version, or if it's the PAL version as well.
What?
They have to type in keywords. They just type in words to get monsters. I can type in songs. So it's completely it's a completely different experience. Like, I can look up different dumb songs and stuff. Like, I typed in, sports by Huey Lewis the News, and I got one like robot guy who just whipped ass, was extremely strong, and I was just like, damn, I named him Huey because he was like from Huey Lewis the News album. And
That's awesome.
It was super good. It was super good. And it's a bit of a bummer that like the US version won't have that, but at the same time, like Maverick, you were saying you got a guy from just typing in "I'm the guy who sucks, plus I got depression," and like I saw someone on Twitter just type in "snooping as usual I see," and they got like the Ultraman colored mochi, and it's just extremely it's extremely funny that like if you go on the website. It's like a fan Monster Rancher website that like catalogs everything possible. That's just how you get that mochi, because that was the first time someone had found it. So it's incredible.
Oh, that's great.
I like it a lot. The only problem that I have though is that I got a DLC code for the like extra little bonuses that you get for the $5 DLC that you can get on the eShop. I just got it for free with my copy of the game. But I don't know what region I'm supposed to use, because it just says Southeast Asian. It doesn't say like Singapore or Hong Kong or Thailand or anything like that. It is just Asia. So I don't know what country to use. I think it might be Hong Kong, because I did look it up a little bit, and it seemed like people were saying it was Hong Kong. But I basically have to just make a whole nother account just to download this one thing. Because I don't think if I buy it on the US eShop, I don't think it'll work. So
Oh,
very,
that's fascinating.
yeah, very odd thing.
Weird.
Yeah, but also super cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're on an edge here of this is all really new stuff. That's so cool.
And now I definitely want to import more physical copies of games that I would normally not be able to. To segue a little bit here, there's a game that a lot of people are talking about recently, Signalis, and you've been playing it, and I did see that the physical Switch version is only available right now in Asia. Like it will be available in America sometime in a couple of months from now, sometime in the future. But if you want
Really,
that,
it's not available in Europe? It's a German developed game, so
I guess not. But yeah, if you want that shit now.
Oh, Playism. Oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're working with Playism to yeah. Playism rules.
If you want that shit now, you're gonna have to import it.
Ooh, I can recommend that heartily.
Yeah, please tell me more because I am very, very interested in this game. A lot of people haven't been like talking too in depth about it. So I think a lot of folks want there to be a surprise. But tell us what you think would entice folks to try this game out.
Signalis is about girls that are robots.
All right,
and they are very scary and killing each other because they're haunted by ghosts of the past, but also being zombies. They're zombies. And all your girl robot friends are all zombies now. It's it's a little more complicated than that, a lot more, but Signalis dumps you into a far-flung future in sci-fi where you are a android whose Gestalt co-pilot co-pilot is missing. So y'all were supposed to be going to a far-flung like exploration mission to find habitable worlds, and the world you end up getting to is very habitable, unfortunately. And possibly has been this whole time, and is a place that you've already been before. And there's a lot of like, mystery to this, but the main thing is that your co-pilot person is missing, and you're trying to find her. You don't remember who she is, though. You don't remember a lot of things. You remember absolutely nothing because you've been in cryo for so long. And you wake up with very little on your person, and are trying to make sense of this world that you find out is this solar system of worlds that are steeped in conflict. And so throughout this game, there's 3 or 4 different stories going on. You finding your android friend, the fate of the world that you're on, how come there are zombies now everywhere, the empire that this planet is a part of. They have a hierarchy of all of these different robots that are almost all women, and they all have very different robot type bodies that are really cool and sick as hell, that make them good at certain things, like some of them are defense operatives, and some of them are scouts, and those are like easy to take out, but they're really fast. And so you get to know a lot of these different types of enemies that are going to be coming at you, and what they were made for, and what they were supposed to be doing within the larger scope of this empire's war with a rebel alliance. And there's like all of these layers come together to in this really beautiful way, where you're learning all these pieces, and then by the end you realize you know nothing.
Wow.
And it does so much by the end of it. It does some incredible stuff from a team that's only 2 people that worked on this game. The game is gorgeous. It is a top-down pixel sprite based game that has a lot of like anime flair to it, and the anime scenes are pretty consistent. And the gameplay is all horror survival, like some really classic stuff, but put together in a way that is so smart. Like just whip crack smart about what is cool about survival horror as a genre. Like they get that when you come into a survival horror, a classic like Resident Evil type of situation, you go, okay, I want to map this place out. And then once I've mapped this place out, I'm going to figure out where the safe spots are. Then once I figure out where the safe spots are, I'm going to move between them and move outwards towards places that are less safe while I try to pick up as much ammo, as much resources, as much health as I can, and then scurry back to home base and put that all in home base as quick as possible. And they do this by what is the most splendid use of lore and mechanics. I got a note. I picked up a note about 15 minutes into the thing that said, private property is a sin. You are not allowed to hold more than 6 items on your person. So make sure you're a good soldier and don't carry more than 6 things on you. and that's the only time they ever talk about that or anything even close to like ethics or, types of private property or anything like that. That's the only place, but it sets the tone for like the entire game about being tongue-in-cheek in service of limiting you in ways that are really cool. The 6 item slot limit is awesome. When you can only hold 6 things, you are going to hold a gun, a utility item, hopefully maybe a little bit of ammo, something that you can reload your gun with one time, maybe if you're lucky. And then you have to have those last 3 slots open because you're going to be picking up keys. You're going to be picking up key items. You're going to be picking up tools that you combine into other pieces or new, like health pickups that can combine into other health pickups. Like the 6 item limit is genius. It was so cool to play with. And even sometimes a little tedious because I would be like in a safe spot and it's like, well, I can only pick up this many things, so I better just dump all my items into the box and run around naked for a little bit, picking up as many items as I can, putting them back at home base before all the zombies respawn, and then getting back to it. It's cool. Tons of little set pieces that are fun. A couple of boss fights, wacky puzzles. We did one of the puzzles is the water jug bit from
Professor
Die
Layton?
Hard 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Die Hard 3, Professor Layton, same thing. Both genius, big brain stuff. So you get to this spot and you have to do the like evening out 2 unequal jugs of water. You have to make them even. And so you're pouring it back and forth a bunch. I spent like 15-20 minutes on it. And it was all to like turn the power back onto this place. And you're just like, why would they make a dumb puzzle like this to turn on the lights to this place? This is so stupid. I turned around and there was a note with extremely explicit instructions on how to do this in case some electrical worker needed to do this immediately. And I'm like, I'm an idiot. Instructions are right there on how to solve this exact puzzle. Signalis got me. I can't recommend the game enough. It's very cool. And the writing is incredible. The prose within the writing, how it works with the like glitching artifacting that you do, is really cool. Oh, and there's a whole mechanic that's centered around radio signaling.
Okay.
That's the Signalis, is that you have a radio on you, kind of like Oxenfree. Oxenfree also did this, where you can tune your radio to certain stations and have certain effects happen in the world. And that's how you solve certain puzzles. That's how you defeat certain enemies. And it's this really cool theme underneath the whole game that just tells such a specific story about analog signal. And they use that as a way to like develop a lot of the prose for parts of the game, things that letters that people write to each other. I'd say it's very on the level of System Shock 2, how there's sometimes little letters between people, and most of the time it's like rushed scrawlings that don't make any sense at all until you've finished the game and you go, oh, fuck, that's what they meant.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it rocks. It was just, for all 10 hours that I played it, it never like settled down for a second. It ramped up into this big climactic finale and then kept going.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept going, and I could not put my controller down. It was another one of those games where I'm like, yep, just going to play this until 3 a.m. They got me.
They got you. No, I'm very excited to try that game out. It seems really neat.
Oh yeah, if you can get that in physical, it is a level above what I was expecting. And so was Sonic Frontiers, but in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
That was because my expectations were low. It's acknowledged my expectations were high, and holy shit, has this game been undersold?
Yeah. That's wild. This is very cool.
On Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the Humble Bundle grouping of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Playism too. That's cool that they have this game's good enough that it has multiple publishers.
Yeah?
Many people are wanting to sell this video game to you.
Someone's got to do it. All right, next bit of news here. So there were a bunch of layoffs this past week or so. The 3 big ones here. The first one is Meta, the ex-Facebook thing, old Zuck's company. They laid off 11,000 employees, which is a lot of people. It's apparently 13% of their entire staff.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is from their Facebook divisions of stuff, which is similar to what Twitter did recently, but for completely different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But they've also announced that they are very committed to the metaverse project.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're, in a way that sounds like they're trying to, appease investors, right? And being like, yes, this thing that we've burned billions of dollars into.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we're going to keep going with it. It wouldn't make me confident, but hey,
as if anyone wants it.
Yeah, this is like abysmal cancer that needs excising immediately. Nope, they're going to keep funneling cash into that guy. But there was a couple other moves too where Kabam, which is the mobile, they do a lot of Disney mobile games. They've also shrunk down by like 9 or 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Square Enix Montreal, which was now called Nanamo. What was it called again? I forgot. Imbano. They changed their name.
It was
because
Onoma.
Embracer. Onoma.
Yes.
Yeah, no name.
So yeah, those are
an unnamed company.
Those are the folks that did like Hitman Go and all that.
Yeah, also mobile.
Mm-hmm.
They're shuttered. They're done. Which just sucks because Square Enix Montreal was making a lot of cool moves, and Hitman Go was awesome. That was a cool game.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, Embracer has folded them, which that's their first. I think that's their first one. Embracer's acquired a whole bunch of companies, and so it was kind of, they were going to do this at some point somewhere along the line, and Square Enix Montreal is who got the axe in that case.
Mm-hmm.
But all of that is to say that there's no part of this that isn't capitalism as normal, right?
Yeah.
All of these layoffs are things that make the ownership class of these companies much, much richer. They are these are moves that make investors extremely happy at the cost of the lives of the people that are working at these companies. And so it's extremely frustrating to see. And on top of that, it's not necessarily a sign that things are going to be great in the games spaces either. Because all of these people that have, worked on their craft are getting laid off. So it's like, well, you're gonna have to fill it with new people now, and that doesn't make better work.
Yeah.
So it hurts everyone down at the bottom, and it hurts consumers, but it doesn't hurt the ownership. That said, there was also the FTX and Twitter are collapsing right now in major ways. And so that's a completely different side of things. And it's kind of exciting to see that crypto and Twitter are falling apart right now in front of our eyes.
Oh
I don't know if
man.
that's affected y'all or not, but
Crypto falling apart is nice. I'd rather Twitter not fall apart though. I like that. I like that one.
I do too.
No,
like
but
it.
it's such a hell site. Don't you hate it when the like? Man,
I would call wherever my home is a hell site.
People need to block more instead of interacting with bad people, because maybe then the website would be good.
My Twitter's fine. I love it. It's great. I get to write off my silly little tweets, and then people do the thing where they go, "Oh, hey, Solon, you didn't have to say that," and then I go, "Yep, thank you, bye."
without Twitter, I wouldn't have the current friends that I do now. Like straight up.
Yep.
And also, I got my one moment of viral Twitter fame, so I'm riding on that. Like, it's on the mantle.
Aw.
I can't get that on co-host.
No,
Can't do that on Pillow Fort.
you can't get much of anything on co-host or Pillow Fort.
Oh, I get so much out of co-host. That place is fun. But that's just for me. I don't expect anyone else to rush over there. No, Twitter's a special spot, and there's not gonna ever be anything like it, and I don't think it's the end of Twitter either. I'm very optimistic on Twitter continuing. It's just gonna change a lot. And from everything that's happening while there is chaos, Twitter has been very consumer, like being a person who makes the tweets has been very fun lately. It's been good. It has been less scary to write something and have it be like a company comes down and fucks you over for having said something, you know? There's a risk to that, but like there legitimately is more free roaming to change your Twitter avatar to some corporation and tweet as them, which has also affected their bottom lines, as we've seen over the last week.
God, did you see that one fucking tweet apparently that someone masqueraded as like a insulin company or an insulin manufacturer? And it was
Yes.
like, we're gonna make our, insulin free for everyone to use. And you just see the stock index for that company and it just plummets.
Yep. It's beautiful. It's magical. That is the Twitter that I've always known. That's not something that's changed just because ownership has changed. Like, Twitter is a bizarre place where sometimes stuff just happens.
What is it? Chainsaw Man mangaka Tatsuki Fujimoto got locked out of his account because, like, apparently when there's not an update for the manga or the show, he's role-playing as, like, his younger, like, sister on his account. And I think specifically it got blocked because, like, he was role-playing as, like, under the age 13 rule.
Yep.
And so now he's just, like, made a new account and is just, like, tagging people, like, look, it's me, it's Fujimoto. Like, here's my favorite things, here's what I do. But here's the thing, like, that initial bit, that is the poster mentality right there. That's the heart of a poster. And that's something that you can't just buy an entire website to get.
Mm-hmm. We're all just hanging out.
Yeah,
online.
Everyone's hanging out. They're hanging out so hard on Twitter right now. The hangout is buck wild. And it's good. I think it's It is a mentality. There's a atmosphere there that I've seen described as the 12 p.m. Waffle House, the 12 a.m. Waffle House. That's what Twitter feels like right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I don't think that's going anywhere. Like, I love when Twitter gets into the mode where they're like, all right, let's archive everything we have here because this may be gone tomorrow. That's a great attitude to have. It's not going anywhere tomorrow. It's going to be there. And even if everything collapses, like, the website's not going anywhere. We are going to be posting for the future as long as the internet lets us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If I can't post, I might as well be dead.
Meanwhile, I'm having a great time on co-host. It's so fun. I can recommend it to specific individuals, is what I would say.
I believe it's got its use. Like, ultimately, that's the thing. I believe every one of these, like, things that are coming up have their usage. It's more so I specifically need
It is not
Twitter
a replacement for Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. None of these. Mm-hmm. None of these are going to be a Twitter replacement. Even with, like, going back into Tumblr, which, you know, we use as a site, but I cannot tell you the last time I actively went through my dashboard. Because it's not that primary thing for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I've seen people going back to DeviantArt, which had its own fracas this literally yesterday.
Yeah.
But even that, all of that is also showing how reflexive the internet is being right now, and just not reflexive. What's the word? Flexible. DeviantArt put out their new policy that was like, hey, we're going to opt all of your works into AI feeders, which is bad. And everyone said, hey, that's bad. And then DeviantArt said, that's bad. You're right. We're going to opt everyone out. And then they were like, hold on. You can't just add an opt-out feature. You have to permanently opt everyone out right now. And then by the end of the day, they did that. They got it done.
Wild.
So now you can opt into your works being fed into a AI machine, which is way funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking about all the people who make DeviantArts that are going to specifically opt in to all of this.
Not gonna be anyone who, you know, was gonna care
values
anyway.
their works.
Who values anything.
Yeah.
Can I
You're gonna get the biggest brain AI out of this project.
Can I opt in by submitting like AI generated work?
Oh, get the AI to teach itself off of itself.
That's what I'm leaning into. Yeah, just get plenty of accounts that are already like working shit off Dolly and stuff, and then you feed that into the cycle.
This is how you get the AI Tower of Babel.
Let's do it.
Get the. This is so smart. Anyway, that's your social media update, as well as tech-wide capitalism being a hell update.
Mm-hmm. And last bit of news here. Hideo Kojima is in the news, folks. You know,
Who did he scan this time?
Nobody. Kind of the opposite.
He didn't scan anybody?
Kind of the opposite. Scan, not scam. Okay, yeah, no.
No. He loves scanning his friends. He gets his friends to come over to his house to scan them.
Then the answer is actually everybody then. Because I feel like at some point we're all going to be scanned by Hideo Kojima.
That's so sweet. Thank you, Hideo Kojima. That's so nice of you.
But hey, the bit of news in the bit of Kojima news here is that he has officially said that a lot of companies have been trying to acquire Kojima Productions. He's gotten a lot of offers, a lot of big offers, and all he has said is no. He wants to stay indie. I'll read this quote here from him. We have no affiliations whatsoever, and we are not backed by anyone. Every day I am approached by offers all over the world to buy our studio. Some of those offers are ridiculously high prices, but it's not that I want money. I want to make what I want to make. That's why I created this studio. So as long as I'm alive, I don't think I will ever accept these offers. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's such a radical thing to say in this day and age, which is such a low bar.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that he's able to say that with the financial security to do so also, which is a big factor in a lot of these things. Like, we were talking about Platinum before. They were constantly having to work out of like a wallet that has at least one mothball flying out of it. The fact that they got like a lot of their biggest like successes have been through other publishers. And most recently, you don't just put out you don't put out a shoot 'em up for $50 self-published because you have the money to do that. No, like that is the state at which they are at right now. When it comes to trying to do stuff that isn't just under the wing of another publisher entirely. But no, congrats to Goji Pro on being able to be like solvent enough and sufficient to do so.
Yeah, good for that team. I'm of course looking forward to their next game. But also he is still kind of full of shit because he's saying like, "Oh yeah, we're indie. We're not answering to anyone."
Oh no, like that's
when their first game was bankrolled by Sony and now their next game is bankrolled by Microsoft. Like it just he just wants to play the playing field. But also I'm glad that he's able to just do what he wants.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, last bit of stuff before we move on to questions and wrap this bad boy up. Maverick, you made a purchase.
I did. God, this is just a general announcement, I guess. If people want to
Maverick, did you finally buy that giant golden bust of Birdly that was on eBay?
Yeah, I did. I found it. I specifically found out who won it in that auction, and we had some words, we had some arrangements, and now I have a Birdly statue, and that person has a hospital bill.
Oh.
Wow, what a trade.
Yeah,
That's how Deltarune go.
Alike in price, ultimately. No, folks, I'm going to be the proud owner of a PS5 soon.
So how did this go down? Did you just like see the listing up and we're just like fuck it, or was this something that you know?
No, so the night before this, as Rose and I were prepping to do like we were going to do like the spoiler cast and everything, we started talking a little bit about Sonic Frontiers because she's also been playing it, and I make the offhand comment about the fact that in some instances, my PS4 Pro, this one I got from my former roommate about a year or two ago when he got his PS5, and he just gave me this one, like, shouts out. Perry, you're probably not listening to this, but thanks, man. Gamers for life. But I got this, and as soon as I've been doing, like, Frontiers, occasionally I just hear these fans clock up, and it's like it's ready to take off. Like, I finished up a session, and I can feel, like, because it's not like I have it, like, an immediate, like, backed up corner. I have my PS4 Pro, like, literally right next to me on my desk, and it's got some distance from the wall. I just have now propped it up with, like, a book just to see if, like, some bottom airflow might help as well. I don't know. But that day, I'm just like feeling around, and it's like, oh man, you are running hot. And I worry a little bit just because, like, right behind it, I've got the Ethernet cable, the power cord, the HDMI, like all of these other cables that I don't know if they're going to get damaged by the fact that this thing is struggling at points, or if not struggling, then really putting in the power for some of these, like, later end new games that aren't entirely optimized for the console. And so we were talking about that, and Rose was like, oh no, I didn't really have any of that come up. But I mean, honestly, like, I'm having I got a PS5 recently, and that's coming in like tomorrow, and I'm like, oh shit, that is insane. And I'm just start looking at it like, yeah, I wish that there were some other options for a PS4. And then I think I see it in my inbox that Sony specifically reaches out because so many places are offering them to get like an invitation online nowadays. Where it's like I think Amazon still has me on a list.
Mhm.
Target or GameStop might have had me on the list. All all these places that are just having me, look at it maybe and just go, "Oh, do you want it? Do you want a cool PS5?" And I just scroll through my mail and I think I do see like, "Oh, hey, we've got the bundle. We got the God of War Ragnarok bundle." And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about it. And the thing that puts it over the top is that there was a pay in 4 option, like pay in 4 installment option. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, I've got just enough money right now to pay this in the first payment. Let me look further. And so I go through it. And it's giving me the option, like all things said and done, it's like $600 bundle because shipping, taxes, and everything. And it's like, all right, but I mean the shipping's free, and the shipping are both options were free between a like standard delivery and express delivery of like 2 to 4 business days.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh, let me do the express shipping, and then I get into the actual payment of it. It's weird for me to like see it, because on one hand I think about it where it's like, oh, if you aren't responsible with a credit card, can you really be responsible for these kinds of like installment payments and whatnot? But the thing about the paying in multiple installments thing that I think has recently cropped up, I've used similar methods for like buying records, for buying like other just like things that I wanted to look into but didn't have the money at the moment to get. And the thing is that like one, I'm specifically using the money that's already in my bank account. Like end of the day, I'm paying that amount, but it's at least lining up a little bit better with my actual like paychecks. And it's coming out and it's in a like timely enough manner that even if it's not exactly on one of my like paydays, I am at least going to have something a little extra that I can like float this with. And so it's not the it's not the end of the world having to do that and divvy it up. And luckily enough, I had more, at least enough that I would feel comfortable doing that initial payment and then still needing whatever I need because I get paid on Monday or I get paid on Tuesday. So it's that back and forth of like, oh, I was already going to put money in for God of War. I would have done all this. Like, it's fine. And it worked. And within this next week, I'm going to have a PS5.
That rocks. No, that makes so much sense because I feel like I make big compulsive purchases once every like 4 months or so. And then during that month, it'll just be like, well, this is just going to be a lean month and I'll have to figure it out. And then everything's fine again. To have that spread out over those 4 months, that would make it much easier.
Yeah, exactly. Or
that's so smart.
Yeah, it at least is like feasible enough. And on the other hand, I'm looking at other things that I want to like invest. Like I definitely am in the leaning to like upgrade and build a new PC, have something that's got a little bit more juice for me. And I am still interested in that. Honestly, what I might do is like when I have enough money, just make sure that I actually get the graphics card.
Yep.
And at least buy that first and foremost. Everything else is at least in enough circulation that I can wait and like get the remainder of that. But for a build that, I ran through with a friend and that for the most part looks pretty viable is like $16K. 600 of that is because of that graphics card. So I could at least like invest that way once I have a little bit more going on. But yeah, part of it is, not constantly making expenditures that are just breaking the bank. Saving a little bit, of course, but It'll get there. This, at
Mhm.
least, is something that I can, like, just latch onto for a minute. Like, and to especially have a new console at the beginning of its cycle, haven't had that before, really. Maybe save for, like, the Wii U.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, this
So
will
what
be
else are you
good.
looking forward to? You got God of War Ragnarok.
Got Ragnarok. I can upgrade to the PS5 edition of Forces. And honestly, that too, like, I might see
Oh.
what other PS5 titles, like, I technically already have because I can upgrade them and look at it
Uh-huh.
that way. This is going to be the thing that I play the Kiseki series on, like, Trails, or Kuro no Kiseki whenever that comes out, Trails into Reverie. Honestly, it might
Of
be my go-to
course.
here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's easy to make the joke that the PS5 has no games. And I'm not going to say that it does, but there is at least more than enough that I can make use of with the additional horsepower that I'm really excited for. I can get Miles
Yeah.
Morales.
Mhm.
See, that's what I was thinking about too, is that I don't have any personal series investment in PS5. If I did have one of the series that like I was really into and they were a, Sony franchise, then it's like, yeah, I would figure it out. I would figure out a way to do it. I haven't yet, and so I'm just been putting it off,
Mhm.
slowly weaning myself off of Sony's. Like, I don't play my PS4 for anything anymore. I've got most of all of those on PC now. Anything that I would play on there, so it's like,
I mean,
you
again,
know,
yeah, it's like normally, yeah, I would be gung ho on that, but I've only got 500
yep,
gigs and I am running through them.
yep, mm-hmm.
So whatever that next machine is, yeah, it's going to have 2 terabytes in it, and that's at least going to like juggle everything between my games, my applications. Like, I got a tablet for work, but I'm probably going to use that as well to like learn how to draw a little bit. So, like, just making use of all this stuff that I would need the more like powered rig for, but that is in like that is an eventual, because end of the
Down the
day I
road.
have a setup that is much better than where I was at like 2 years ago, and I'm so grateful
Yep.
for that. And this is at least the one that I can look at as like this is for me. This is a fun little toy that I can get.
That's awesome. John, what do you think now that Chooch is all upgrading to PS5?
I think it's good that we're all getting up to the PlayStation, up to how things should be out there.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I still don't think it's worth it to jump through hoops to get a PS5. But if it's easy for you to do, then all right, sure,
It feels like it is getting a little bit easier. Like this current like wave of what's around, because like what is it? I'm seeing like you could still probably get the bundles and stuff.
Hmm.
And like those are at least not going like off the shelves as quickly. And that's at least a good sign.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying that like I inadvertently, now that I realize it, got mine like right before the holiday season really picks up, and that
Mhm.
is probably going to be where the bloodbath starts.
Oh yeah. Still pretty nutty. We are 2 years into this, and it is still not easy to buy one.
Love love the production cycle, the supply chain. There we go.
Yeah.
Love the world. The world out there.
I mean, really, shouts out to everyone that's getting a Steam Deck. Thoughts and prayers if you have it out in the wild.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think we're all caught up with that. Let's move on to questions if y'all would like to. Is there anything
Mm-hmm.
else you want to talk about before we go into those? No?
You know what? I'll abstain. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay.
No opinions from me.
All right. If you want to send in a question, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like these fine folks right here. Anonymous asks, okay, so this loops back to what we were talking about earlier. If Twitter does become uninhabitable, where will all the brands and promotional campaigns go? Back to Facebook?
Yeah.
I hope not. I don't know. I mean, like Tumblr is kind of bumping right now. Maybe Tumblr will actually be profitable. I don't know.
I would say that's not a bad place to go. It's been pretty cool. So maybe brands and promotional campaigns follow there, but even if they do, Tumblr has kind of put a whole thing together around that. They're becoming sustainable off of different types of advertising campaigns that are not the conventional kinds that spam up, email and stuff. If you know where the brands are going, they're going to Gmail. It fucking sucks. It's garbage. That place is becoming a hellhole because it's a whole monopoly, right?
I hate getting emails.
They're gonna go all in on creating custom TikToks.
There you go. Make them do the fucking work.
Well, no, they'll buy influencers to do the producting and whatnot.
Still nasty.
Still, hey, that's work.
I hate it.
Work that makes content.
I don't know. I don't care about brands. I don't care about that shit.
Check your iPhone
Twitter,
at the door.
For people, is inhabitable.
Yeah.
All the brands and promotional campaigns can't support Twitter anymore, so they're leaving, which means Twitter's now way more inhabitable.
Yeah. Now's the time to use Twitter because also, hey, maybe in a couple of years we'll be able to take part in a class action lawsuit of some sort.
If you make your first tweet on a brand new account that's like a personal account today, you'll get so many likes.
Yeah.
You'll get so many retweets. People be like, "You chose now?" Welcome to Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Drill just left. You're coming on now?
No, he's still around. He's just a little scared, I guess. He's out there blocking the blue checks though. Someone's got to do it.
Blocking the blue checks.
Yeah.
Fucking torn asunder because Digimon Otis bought himself a blue check.
Yeah, Digimon Otis would buy himself a blue. Oh my god. Yeah, he would. Fucking Otis. Anonymous asks, why does the TCG version of Pumpkin the King of Ghosts have an effect hinged around Castle of Dark Illusions? The castle isn't even a zombie, and those two cards were played by different characters.
John, you
yes.
have to answer for this. This is you're kind of to blame for this.
So the answer is they didn't know what the fuck they were doing back then. And that's it. That's the answer. They did not know what they were doing. They did not know how to make a card game. And arguably they still don't.
They asked the radical question in 1998, what if a trading card had an effect on another trading card?
It's a bad effect.
They just grabbed two out of the bag.
It's a bad effect. Pumpkin has to be on the field for 5 turns to raise its attack all the way up, and it's only by like 500 attack.
Oh no!
So like it's 100 attack per turn. It's not worth it.
Because he's the Pump King. He's good at pumping.
He's a shit card. Pumpkin the King of Ghosts is a shit card. It's a cool card. I love the art. Terrible card. There is, however, a retrain of Pumpkin in the newer sets that is good in zombie decks. Because I do use zombie decks. You know me, I love zombies. It's called Jack O'Bolin. It's pretty much a free special summon, which is really nice. You just special summon it pretty much whenever. It's very cool.
Oh, that is neat.
Yeah. It's good if you
So why does Pumpkin have a castle, though?
Again, I don't know. It's the castle. It's the Castle of Dark Illusions. It doesn't it's a fiend type. It doesn't even have anything to do with zombies.
Maybe Pumpkin's a landowner. Maybe he's the king of ghosts and also owns, this little castle that they go to on vacation sometimes.
I think Pumpkin is like a King DDD scenario where because I don't think he actually holds any power. He's just kind of sitting around in his castle, just hanging out. Because there's
of course,
there are so many like kings and rulers of the underworld and stuff. You know, there's like King of Yamamakai, there's Dark Ruler Hades. You know, there's all kinds of shit. I think Pumpkin's just chilling somewhere and he doesn't really care. Like Doom King Baylor Droke. That's that I use him. He's probably the best zombie monster. But like, you know, there's all kinds of fucking zombies and kings and rulers and all that, and none of them are actually in charge of anything, I don't think.
What about a Peepness Poopness?
That's not a card for real. You fabricated that one.
That's what you think.
Oh, okay. There's the King of the Skull Servants. He's just in charge of the Skull Servants, and you know what? He just wants to go on vacation and hang out with his family.
All right.
He's a family guy?
He is a family guy. No, yeah, look at the card, There Can Only Be One. It's about him going on vacation and getting stopped by the TSA. I'm dead serious.
Oh, you are serious. Wow. Yeah, that's just him getting stopped at TSA. He just wants to be king of the Skull Servants.
Nice, the fucking household dude.
Yeah, he's household dude. It's very cute. I think there's like a sequel card that is like him like getting interviewed by the TSA and like his dog is the dog is there. It's very cute. There can be only one. And you know what? That is the funny thing too, is that There Can Be Only One is actually a really good card. So.
Oh, so it's actually really good. You see the Skull Servant guy getting stopped by TSA, and you pull that out of your deck and go, yes, awesome.
Because it makes it so you can only control one monster of each type. So that way, you know, like, for example, if someone used that against my zombie deck, I could only control one zombie, which would put a stop to pretty much everything that I would do. Yeah.
Yep.
Which I've actually gotten into a situation where they had There Can Only Be One, and I had a card called Rivalry of Warlords, which is each player can only control one type of monster, which basically just means you can only control one monster with both of those up. And
hold on,
it's
so
a
you're
mess.
telling me there is synergy between There Can Only Be One, Pumpkin King of Ghost, and Castle of Dark Illusions?
I would say kinda, but also it's not good. There's kind of synergy, but it's bad. You wouldn't want to do that.
I don't know. My life force, my life points are high, and yours are going down they're increasingly going down 100 attack per turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Yu-Gi-Oh. And then the last question here. The last question here is from Cello Buster, who asks, is Gollum game ever coming out? They specifically spelt it hashtag Gollum game as well, also. I feel like it needs to be mentioned. I don't know. I'm a little worried for its future, but at the same time, you know, as long as it does come out, I think it will be one of the greatest games of all time. I am fully prepared to experience Gollum game in all of its glory, but I can also understand if they delay it further or even cancel it, because it might not be like mortals may not be able to process the Gollum game. With it might be too powerful. I did there was a day where it was completely dead at the arcade, and my manager just straight up like went onto YouTube and looked up like top 20 most anticipated games, and one of them was the Gollum game. And he was just like, "Who the fuck wants to play this? You're just Gollum." And I was just like, "You don't understand anything. You don't understand anything about the world. Who wants to play Gollum game? You're standing right next to someone who wants to play Gollum game. You need to realize that." That is what I said. He had to grasp.
We have you surrounded.
Yeah, there are more of us than there are of you.
For everyone who's ever been kicked down, bullied, beaten on, they're a hashtag Golem game.
Mm-hmm.
We are rising up. We represent the many. I don't know. What if Golem Game becomes like a PT kind of situation? They just pull the plug because they realize that this idea is
It's such a good
not
idea.
getting the mainstream. It's such a good idea. It's such a good idea.
No, it's coming out because I have a PS5 now.
Mm.
True.
They waited for me to be in this moment, and now I can do it.
God, you could stream from your PS5.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it is.
Gaming.
That's so exciting. I want more Golem Game.
All right, well, I think that about does it. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. If you want to continue to support us, we have our website, videogamechoochoo.com. We have our Twitter for however long that stays up. No, it'll be fine. Our Twitter is at VGCC. We have our Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. Facebook.com/videogamechoochoo. YouTube.com/videogamechoochoo. And Twitch.tv/VGChoochoo. I will say, actually, before I forget, I am planning on streaming Pokemon when it releases. I am going to get it a little early, and by that I mean like an hour early, because they're doing some kind of pre-release event at the GameStop near me. So once I get home and all set up, I'm going to play some Pokemon. Hopefully it's not a complete disaster. I'm gonna try to set it up before the day of, so that way I'm not rushing. But God, yeah, I'm so excited for Pokemon, and I want to share it with you all.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. I want to see your stream of it. I want to be up extra late that night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stay up too late, because I do have work the next day, and I will have also worked the day before, that day as well. But I'll stay up like a few hours, play some Pokemon, share it with y'all. I'm not going to stream like my whole playthrough or anything, because fuck y'all. I want to play Pokemon. But
Yep.
I'll show a little bit of it. I'll show some of it.
I'm probably going to skip work that day. I'm probably just going to be like, nope, playing Pokemon.
Now, again, my same manager, was fully like straight up like, are you going to call out on that day? Are you like, just tell us now, like we'll give you a different day off or whatever. And I was like, I thought about it, but the weekends is when I make the most money. So I'm being responsible, and I'm going to go in, even though I do want to take the day off. I want to make that extra money.
Play Pokemon there. Just put it on the big screen.
Oh no, I'm way too busy to do that. No, I wish I could, but nah. Yeah. We don't really have a screen for that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
No.
Okay. This is the time. Put a TV in there and try to get that to be your job for the day.
I might do that. I might go to like I pick it up, go over to like my the bar that my friend works at, because it's like that gamer bar kind of a deal, and they do have an open Switch stock.
Yeah. That's what the Switch is for, you know? Take it out, play it with some people, put it on a TV. Now we can do that now.
Yeah, all the way back
to
trade
Pokemon.
To those original commercials of just like, here I am at the party. Let me take out my Switch. Does anyone want to play 1-2 Switch? No. I'm too busy honking on that Zaza.
That's when you give them the Joy-Con and they try to...
Oh, you could definitely make a pipe out of a Joy-Con. Are you kidding me?
Oh, easily.
God, it's the perfect. Oh, because like the lighter, you run the. you gut it out.
Yeah.
You gut it out, and then you run it so that you put in and you pack it where the Joy-Con would be, and then that's where you light it, and then you toke up.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That would work perfect.
Joy-Con
Very
pipes.
expensive.
So
They would sell.
If you want to keep supporting us, if you want us to keep doing dumb shit like this, please go to patreon.com/VGCC. It's just $3 a month and you get access to all kinds of stuff. The Bayonetta spoiler cast is going to be up on there a week early. So you can listen to that nice and or I don't know if it'll be a week early. It might be a little later. I don't know. Y'all are figuring it out.
We're figuring it out. That will be available, but I would also say, keep an eye on the Patreon because we are definitely looking at things that will, be of benefit to the patrons and then also be something that we would want to, put out otherwise. But there are other things in there as well. I believe our other spoiler cast we did was also through that, but...
All right. And, you can come hang out with us on our Discord, thegamezone.zone. Type that into your web browser and it'll bring you straight there. Even if Twitter's not going to go away, I don't think, we're going to keep saying that. But, it is kind of nice to spread out where you are. And I think the Choose Discord is a nice place to hang out and chat. So if you want a bigger, not a huge community, but like a slightly larger community that, has some welcoming folks and it's actually viable to talk in there, it's not just going to be a million people yelling all at once. It's a place where you can actually have a conversation. There you go. There's a nice Discord for that. And thank you, meltchannel/Magic Circuit, for a theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. Check them out, especially on Bandcamp Fridays at the beginning of the month. Where can people find you, Maverick?
People can find me on Twitter over at Mavsplaniamania. That's at MAVSPLANAAMANIA. If you want to get me off of Twitter, you're going to have to take me out with the shit that killed Shinzo Abe.
The only way.
That's the only way. I do have a co-host
weekly
set
shout-out.
up. Yeah. I do have one available, but I think as more eyes turn to that space, I might use it more. It's again, I tried it. It's doing all right, but for the most part, Twitter is where I am the most active.
Mm-hmm. Where are you at on co-host? Just Maverick?
No, it's actually at Hey, it's Maverick.
There you are.
Yeah. Because at the very least, the handles are still fresh enough that no one has fucking camped on the ones that I would want to use.
Your banner is perfect.
Thank you. Again, threw it up in just the most hastiest of ways to make sure I'll have something there.
Mm. Yeah, I just threw mine together really fast too. This is some garbage.
Solon, how about you?
Hey, find me on Twitter and Twitch at ChorbySP. He's a little devil. He's a little bad guy. He's a villain that plays a bazillion video games all at once. Gonna be playing a lot of Pokemon coming up this week to get ready for the new week. I'm gonna be playing a lot of Sonic, not Sonic Forces. That's the one that I like, but is kind of for freaks. Sonic Frontier, and I think that's it. I've completed a bunch of other games already, so those are all off the list. And yeah, we're always just beating stuff. We're so good at completing video games and seeing the end credits and then going, wow, people made this game. And I'm also on co-host. You can find me at Solon. I'm right there.
It's pretty good. And you can find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI on Twitter. That's kind of it. Just go see me on Discord if you want, I guess. But hello. I'm on Twitter. Hi. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long. Bye.